Hello everybody, this is Party PD and welcome to a video that I've been wanting to record for quite some time now. But this video is specifically made to sort of bring more attention to the workshop community. I know that I used to make the workshop weekly videos. I've definitely been slacking on that and will likely turn to looking at trying to make that happen again. But I wanted to go over some stuff about what the workshop is and what exactly the Dota 2 workshop sort of entails, more or less. So what I wanted to talk about in general is the main thing, the difference between a Valve cosmetic and a workshop cosmetic. So the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to this is that a workshop cosmetic is usually a full set and usually doesn't come out of a battle pass. Most of the time, a workshop set is something that someone has hand created themselves and put the effort into making them. Not saying the Valve artists don't put effort into it. The Valve artists are just as talented as the artists who make our everyday sets for the Dota 2 cosmetic world. But there's ones that, for instance, while in the shard shop, these newer, more premium ones, some of which are usually done by Valve-specific artists, while the legacy ones, being older sets that people have made themselves from the workshop, are some of these more retired sets that people are still a big fan of. Like, there's still a couple people running around with the Arc Tempest. There's still some people running around with this Lone Druid because everybody likes the bear. There's still Father Nature, and there's quite a few sets out there, both in the old as well as in the new, that people are still using quite a bit. The main reason I really wanted to make the video and kind of like highlight it is that uh, the Dota 2 workshop has always been my most favorite place to look at Dota 2 content almost every single time of the year. Like, half the time I spend watching Dota 2 from either streams or watching the pro scene go full ham and everything like that. Like, I watch that on one eye, and the other eye I watch with workshop sets. And eventually I want to get to the point where we're going to be interviewing workshop artists at their most appropriate time frames to see how they feel about where Dota has gone and how Dota has sort of changed their way of living, whether it's the economic side or the fact that it's a community that has openly accepted them. But this is basically to kind of give everybody the baseline idea of what the difference is between a Valve cosmetic and a workshop cosmetic. The first thing to point out basically is that most workshop cosmetics, like I said, are usually full sets. Now, from when I was doing the workshop reviews, a lot of these sets, at least in this set in chest in specific, which thank God this one is still on the front screen, I have physically reviewed myself. Like, I've done the Ravens main, I've done this Eternity set, I've done the Undying Dynasty, I've done this Storm Spirit, I have done this Dazzle, I've definitely done this Kunkka, I did this Arc Warden, I've done this Dark Willow, I've done this Arcanist Guys, I've done this Puck, I've done everything in this set for set reviews, excluding the Templar Assassin one. The one thing that is sort of still the Valve touch, this is something that a lot of people probably know about, but there's also the people who still don't really know about the Valve touch. Let's put it this way. So somebody can submit a set that looks completely normal. Nothing is abnormal about the set whatsoever. The Valve touch is giving it the extra particles that are based on the hero itself. The extra Valve touch is usually something that makes the set rare, or in the case of this Templar Assassin set, the ultra rare, which I also use this TA. So basically, the Valve touch is what these extra particle effects are that give the set its extra shine and the extra little particle blades that are overall like the shine of a set, like the gleaming look of a whole entire set is the Valve touch. Most of the time, the baseline of a set is still the set itself. A good one I can actually recommend is this ENIGMA set that was released a long time ago, the Twisted Maelstrom. Now, this didn't look like this set at all when it was in the workshop, because I remember doing the interview on this one, or doing the workshop weekly on this one. It didn't look like this at all. Like, it didn't have as many particle effects as this has right now, and it didn't have a little bleed that it does with the arms. Of course, we can't really see that because I don't have it on right now, but you could see basically this extra trail that never existed. That is what's known as the Valve Touch. And the Valve Touch is usually what makes people like go goo goo gaga over a lot of the baseline sets. Now, what is a Valve cosmetic? A Valve cosmetic is usually something that comes straight from Valve itself, being the Battle Pass. So if we go into our Nemesis Immortal Treasure 2021, most of these, if not all, are done exclusively by Valve artists. These are all singular one-liner items that are usually Valve item constructed specifics. Sometimes there is the rare case where we get to see sets that are made by the community, being the workshop, that make it into the main line of an Immortal box. One of the prime examples being the Vector Spirit for Void Spirit, being one of those prime examples. Now, there's also the rare case that there are sets that are also still within the Battle Pass that are also Workshop Cosmetic ones, because this one was Workshop Cosmetic. Almost everything in this Nemesis 2021 treasure is Workshop related, because a lot of these were actually treasures that didn't make it in to the last set of treasures, which I believe was the New Bloom box, the Spring 2021 box. So a lot of these were some sets that didn't make it in, which we got to see here instead, which I'm very glad did make it in as a result. But most of the time when you see these themed treasures, these are all usually done by workshop artists. The only time that it might not be done by workshop artists is if it's the shard shop chests that are the premiums. I'm not 100% certain about the seasonal ones, being the ones that come out of the shard chests. I believe the shard chests as well are ones that are done by the community as well, because I've seen this in the workshop as well. But basically, I wanted to go over that little quiet bit there, is that that's the difference between the cosmetics and you, more or less, is that there's the Valve Touch, which we've talked about already, one of the examples being this Enigma set. Then there's just the straight release of a set, which actually the best example is the cat for PUDGE. I remember going over this and seeing this one in for the Halloween chest, and I'm like, I don't want to interview, or I didn't want to do it, and then I added the cat PUDGE anyway to a workshop weekly. But, like, it turned out super good. Like, the Valve Touch was giving it the extra little lights to the particles, and the tail has an animation. Like, yeah, this was one of them that worked out pretty well. But, like, the Valve Touch makes a significant difference at the end of the day to a lot of cosmetics that people are usually holding on to. Now, the big thing is that it is great when you get to see sets for a hero you really like getting into the game and being such a significant part of your world. Cosmetics literally do fuel the world of Dota 2, in the sense that it fuels the workshop creators, and in a sense that it fuels the players, so they don't have to look at the baseline heroes anymore. Not saying the baseline heroes are bad, of course, but everybody does like a good shiny raptor every now and again, or even for Doom, everybody does like a good set of wings. Oh, and then of course there's Dragon Knight. Everybody likes anime eventually.
Might not care about this fight, but I do.
Everybody eventually likes anime. So that's the one thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to the Dota 2 cosmetics universe. Like, again, we will be going back into the cosmetic universe, talking about the Workshop Weekly again, because there are more sets that'll be making their way back into Dota from the workshop. So the first link that's going to be posted is the Dota 2 workshop front page. After that, all right, we're going to talk about it very briefly, but there's also this community that has been quite out there for quite some time, and I'm very happy to see that it is thriving. And that is this Discord community that I remember talking to, or looking at very briefly here, is the Dota 2 Quorum. This is the community of workshop artists as well as various other artists within the Dota 2 universe. This is where a lot of people kind of flocked as soon as the project was announced. And I was very happy to see it, because this is a prime way to support the people of the Dota 2 workshop, because this also shows them all the interviews that are there, all of their portfolios, and everybody that you love when it comes to the Dota 2 workshop is going to be there. One of which being the guy who made Davian. He'll be there. The guy who made the Spectre Arcana, he'll be there. Probably. I'm not entirely sure about who all was there. But if that doesn't really give you enough information with the Dota 2 quorum, as well as the explanation of the difference between a Valve cosmetic and a Workshop cosmetic, there's always the third option of just going to Twitter in general and checking out the people that have made these sets before. Like I said, I've done a lot of Workshop Weekly stuff, and I like literally every single person who puts a Dota 2 cosmetic into the game because it just looks so damn good, and they are so damn good at their job. The primary one is that being like Blade of Vila and Hot Coffee and Fudgy Wudgy just released this OD set that was probably almost immediately approved, and this is just the screen. Like, this alone is already a poggin looking set. But that's basically it, is that you could also just go straight to their Twitter and contact them yourselves. Like, all of them have their art stations linked up here on their front. Not all of them. Most of them do. If not, then they do have their emails that you can contact them with too. Like, I love almost every single person. I say everybody. I love everybody in this community when it comes to the Dota 2 cosmetic universe, because they are the ones who make the game beautiful, and they continue to post beautiful content like this throughout the whole entire year of Dota 2. They are the ones who solely fund, more or less, not really fund, but they are the ones who create Dota 2 into the community that it is today. So make sure you go and show your support to these workshop artists and these freelance artists. Like, look at that. Even this is Boogies, who does all the drawings for like OG and Team Secret, all their like fancy looking drawings. Like, it's amazing. I do like this one too, actually. I'm a big fan of that Borderlands character. Like, you got Woogies, you got Style D, Nikita, Khan, Silent. Like, there's a lot of people out there in the Dota 2 universe that are consistently making sets and making sure that the Dota 2 community is more or less visually funded by giving you all the sexiest sets out there. One of which, actually not really being a set, but I do want to bring it up anyway, is, I believe, where is it? There it is. We can't forget that one of these workshop artists is also responsible for bringing you Sexy Davian. This little emote right here. Oh, you can't. There we go. Sexy Davian. One of these workshop artists is responsible for bringing you Sexy Davian. So just make sure you go and support as many people as you possibly can. I am going to put all the people that I've talked about through this one video in particular into the description, as well as anybody else that I can find throughout the editing process of this video. Like I said, I love every artist that ends up putting stuff into Dota, and then I love every artist that works with those artists as well. So if you think you even have what it takes to go ahead and make some cosmetics for Dota, by all means, I want to see them. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this video. Workshop Weekly will probably be returning sometime in the near future, as well as my eventual planned project of the 5 Reasons to Play project. So we'll see you guys next time for some more Dota 2 action. It's Party PD, signing off.